Manchester City won their postponed match against Burnley thanks to Haaland's solitary goal. With this result, both teams are level on points in the Premier League table. And here's the scary, familiar part. Same pressure, same timing, same opponent. We've seen this before in 2022-23 when Arsenal were 8 points clear and lost the title. We saw it again in 2023-24 when City caught them in the dying minutes. And now it's happening again. But this time it feels different because this isn't the City of a few months ago. This is a team that no longer just controls games. They can explode. With Erling Haaland already surpassing 20 league goals, Ryan Cherki leading the way with creativity and a system that's faster, more direct, and far more unpredictable. Then there's the biggest problem of all. Pep Guardiola has never lost 2 consecutive league titles. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta keeps finding himself in the exact same position, almost at the edge, controlling the game, and then suddenly falling behind. Let me tell you about the moment when this title race completely changed. Manchester City didn't just beat Arsenal last week. The Gunners went into the match knowing that just one win would widen their gap to 9 points. Instead, City managed to draw level with Arsenal on 70 points. Then, the entire atmosphere of the season changed. What felt like a trophy for Arsenal suddenly became a race for City. Guardiola had already called it a final before kickoff, and by the whistle, he looked confident. But this new City had a different DNA. Analysts had pointed to it early in the season, a subtle shift towards more direct football, with Cherki repeatedly feeding Haaland in behind the defense, and City creating one-on-one chances far quicker than any Guardiola team had ever managed before. One analyst even said that the Cherki-Doku combination produced the most vertical attack of Guardiola's tenure in English football. That's no small claim, and the numbers back it up. Haaland had attempted 84 shots in the Premier League by the end of March, more than any of his teammates by a significant margin. But look around. Cherki is second in assists and second in through balls. Doku, Nunez, and Bernardo have all provided assists. City are no longer reliant on a single creator. The paths to Haaland come from everywhere. Different angles, different moments, less predictable, more intimidating. But what truly sets this City apart is what they do when the game goes wrong. The old City were perfect, but even perfect teams can struggle when things go wrong. In February, City came from behind to beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield. Against Arsenal, they scored first, followed by a second, then scored the winner in a tight and physical second half. These are street battles, less about the beautiful patterns, more about who wants it when it matters most. And this City clearly wants it. They can control the game, but they can also defend, absorb pressure, grit their teeth, and strike at the right moment. That's this new version of City. Not just a rebuilt machine, but a smarter, more adaptable, and frankly, more frightening version. And the scary part is that this version of Manchester City looks like it was built specifically for this kind of matchup. Once you see the players driving it, it becomes even more dangerous. This is the part that should really keep Arsenal fans awake at night. Look at the official numbers and they immediately tell the story. Haaland is still City's top scorer in the league, obviously because he's Erling Haaland and scoring goals is essentially his obligation. But Ryan Cherki leads the team in assists, and Matheus Nunes leads the squad in successful passes. 3 different players, 3 different tasks, and 3 different approaches. That's not a team built around one pattern. It's a team built around every pattern. And that's where the problem lies for anyone trying to stop them. April, the month where titles are won and lost. 14 straight wins to clinch the 2018-19 title. 7 wins from the last 9 to secure the 2021-22 title. 9 wins from 9 to seal the 2023-24 title. And the man treats April as if it were his own. And analysts have noticed something else too. Last season was trophyless for City, a rare failure. 6 Premier League titles under Guardiola, and then a painful year without a trophy. You know what they say about what Guardiola does when he's trophyless for a year. He doesn't get weaker. He comes back stronger. This is the phase where City is starting to feel invincible, bit by bit, game by game, 3 points at a time. And this, right at this moment, is a moment where Arsenal have struggled before. Okay, this is where things get really interesting, because we've talked about tactics, players, formations, and pressing systems, but now we need to talk about something that doesn't appear in any statistics sheet, yet it determines a title race more than almost anything else. Specifically, the psychology of two very different managers responding to the exact same high-pressure moment in completely opposite ways. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. This isn't a story about who understands football better than the other. Arteta is a brilliant manager, but when the gap narrows and every decision carries the weight of an entire season, these two men have different mindsets. Guardiola sees a vulnerable rivalry and attacks immediately. Arteta sees a dangerous rivalry and tries to control it. Arteta is exceptional, making Arsenal difficult to beat. But there's a difference between being difficult to beat and dealing a truly devastating blow to a title rival. After the win, Guardiola summed up the entire evening in one word: hope. Arteta said, "The title race starts now." Both responses were rational, but even in their language, you can see the difference. One attacked the moment, the other reorganized. That's a phrase that explains so much about this rivalry. Arteta managed not to lose. Guardiola managed to win. When the rivalry becomes volatile, Guardiola becomes more ruthless. He will take risks if it means changing the title. Arteta minimizes risk and trusts the team's structure. In most seasons, both approaches win football matches. But in the title race against City in particular, only one has consistently won the league. Arsenal and City are level on points, and the title race is still wide open. But the momentum is on City's side. The pressure is on Arsenal. This isn't really about Arsenal failing. It's about City evolving into a proper team that thrives when a season becomes a mental test, when the beautiful football stops and the real battle begins. Which brings us to the question that has been brewing all along. Arteta has pushed Guardiola to the limit. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. He has rebuilt Arsenal, restored their confidence, and made this a genuine title contender again. But has he finally beaten Guardiola? Or will this new Manchester City destroy him again?
I think today is more about how good Man City were in terms of mentality. Pep Guardiola didn't make any changes until the 80th minute, stuck with his team, didn't feel the need to tinker, and was like, this is what we're going to do. It was a wonderful City performance, a moment in time that it feels like everything came crumbling down for Arsenal. These last 3 weeks